And welcome back to Mark FM. Sit back, relax, and listen to these thoughts. I don't know why, but some kind of concept popped up in my mind, and I don't know if there's a name for it, but I do know that it exists. So when you have in nature, for example, if you go right into the middle of the desert, you will find less animal life. You will find less life than at a border between a desert and, I don't know, a forest or whatever. And you will also see more life on the border of water and earth. You will find more life on borders for some reason. It makes sense because then there's more interaction, and well, animals need water, animals need land. Not all animals though, but but there's this concept, and that you will find more life on borders. And so I was just thinking, okay, how can we relate that to business? How can we relate that to our lives, and how can we enrich our lives by knowing this concept? Because it's a fun concept to know, but if we don't do anything with it, then who cares, right? And then I thought, well, I have been a videographer, but I was always a business person first. I studied business administration, and then I just figured out that I could make money filming things. So then I became a videographer. But I knew that a lot of videographers were videographers. That's it. They were artists. They were videographers, and they just wanted to make good videos. But then they lacked the salesmanship or the business ideas for in the videos. So then you would end up with good videos that didn't really do anything, that looked really nice, but then that was it. And that was my edge. I could help businesses because I also understood business, and then I could translate that into a visual pleasing image. And I also worked in some IT companies, and if you go, for example, to the development department where all the programmers are, they don't know anything about sales or business. They just make the programs, and not everyone, of course, but the ones that are, most of the time, the ones that are really good at programming, they just know programming, and that's completely fine. But it's also a really good thing to also know stuff about sales. And I think you're worth more if you also know more about the other thing of how to actually implement the coding. So, but the other way around it was as well. Like the salespeople didn't know anything about coding, so then they would sell stuff that the programmers couldn't really create, or there were problems. And then, what are you left with, right? A faulty product. And no matter where you look, you will find this everywhere, where the really, really, really specialized people, they work. It's a really good thing that they are there. But most of the time, the people that just know a little bit about this, and then also this, and then can connect both, most of the time, those people are the most valuable, because you can actually work with those people. You can actually create stuff with those people. And you actually need those people that know things from both worlds to actually create something. And so it would be really good to have like a programmer that only knows about programming, but then he talks and communicates with the person that knows about both, and not the programmer talks to the salesperson, for example. That would be that would create miscommunications, right? So there has to be a middle person. But if you think about this, then it would make sense for you to, if you are really good at something, to know what that something does in the world, and actually know the other side as well, to actually get good at both sides. So, for example, programming and selling, or videography and business. Like if you make videos and you want to make your business, your video company work, then you also need to know about business, and you need to know what your clients want. And so you need to know also a little bit about business. And the more the more the better. So then it's better to have both, right? But it would be also a really good idea to know both and then hire a videographer that only knows about really creating stuff, and then you just communicate that to the videographer what he has to make. That works. That really works. I was just thinking about this concept. This is a really interesting concept, that most productivity, most value is created at the border of two skills, for example. It's really interesting. I just thought of it, and I thought it would be nice to share with you. Maybe you can apply it somewhere in your life as well, and let me know how you have seen this. You can become more valuable if you know both. And you don't even need to know a lot about the other side, but just enough to implement your side even better. Yeah. I just felt like sharing that. Let's see. Do we have something else? Can we relate this to crypto? Well, yeah, a little bit. So if you have your business, right? Let's say crypto, but you could also be a chiropractor. You could also be whatever, right? You know a lot about your thing where you're operating, right? So the crypto people know a lot about crypto, and they have all kinds of jargon, and they are talking to each other, and that's fine. The chiropractors all have the same. Programmers have the same. We all have our own languages, right? We understand stuff, and so our conversations get different, and a lot of people can't follow us because we know what we're talking about, but most people don't. And if we think about that, that means that, well, mostly we're not in borders. We're not working on one side and communicating it to another side. But what if we do? So what I'm trying to do is to connect the crypto space, for example, with the people that have never heard of crypto. And then that means that I have to explain things in ways that the people in the crypto space wouldn't normally explain stuff, because they know what they're talking about, or at least they think they do. And then the people that are outside of crypto, they can't figure out what those people are talking about. So if you can create some kind of bridge between people, between spaces, then you become really valuable, because you have become the bridge. And then you can have you can have so much more success in life, or in your relationships, or in your in your business, if you figure out how you can become that bridge to create that communication, to really create that synergy, instead of two different groups just bumping into each other without any synergy, without any collaboration. It's really powerful to be that bridge, to be that the person that can hop from border to border. Yeah, that's the thought of today. Let me know what you think. Maybe you can apply it somewhere. I would love to have a conversation with you. Just leave something in the comments. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.